Good morning, friends. So we will continue to discuss Dryden's poem Shadwell. In my first lecture, I have given you a brief introduction about the poet and about the poem, and we have also discussed the elementary lines, the beginning lines of the poem Shadwell, in which he says that Dryden says that this is a natural, this is a universal fact, this is a natural phenomena that whatever things exist, there is a process of disintegration after some time. There is the process of degradation or disintegration takes place. So similarly, when fate summons someone, when God calls someone, so even the great kings cannot deny. In other words, he says that when death comes, even the great kings cannot deny the angels of death to return back. And later on, he compares Richard Flecknoe, with King Augustus, as King Augustus occupied the throne in his young age, and his rule continued for a long time. Similarly, Richard Flecknoe wrote quite a long time, and he wrote both in prose and poetry. But whatever he wrote, it was completely without any meaning. It is nonsense, as Dryden called it about his writing. Now, later Dryden further elaborates this comparisons as it is the practice of the kings. It is the practice of the kings to declare the success during his lifetime. It is a very common practice that a king declares his successor in his lifetime, so that there would not be any dispute after his death. So similarly, in the same way, when Flecknoe became old, he thought about this matter. And after reflecting or after thinking for a long time, he got an idea that all among his children, Shadwell alone is best successor to him. Now look at that, how the drama is created by Dryden to satirize his opponent, you can say that his competitor in writing, Thomas Shadwell. That after long thinking, Flecknoe suddenly got an idea that Shadwell alone is best successor to him. Dryden argues that Flecknoe selected Shadwell because he was mature in dullness. Now look at the word used by the Dryden, mature in dullness. Maturity, the ripeness comes, begins, brings sweetness, but here maturity, what is he is immature in dullness. Shadwell was selected because he was mature in dullness from his young age. There is no equal to him in foolishness. Now look at the sarcasm, the irony, the satire in which he uses that there is no one equal to him in foolishness. So this is the level of satire. Dryden attack was not totally unjustified. The man was coarse, coars, coarse means ugly, and sensual. The person who gives much attention to his senses. He was bulky, he was very big, and gave himself airs, and he thinks himself, considers himself very proud of that, considers himself a great writer. Dryden compares him with a knight. And look at, there is no possibility of sunlight during the night. So there is no scope of sunlight when there is night. Similarly, the personality of Shadwell was just like a fog which envelops everything in it. So as there is no scope of sun rays during the night, similarly the personality of Shadwell was just like a fog which envelops everything in it. In the same way, Dryden compares him with a monarch. Now here the monarch is spelled with a small m, monarch, monarch. So monarch means here a bird, and when we write monarch with capital M, then it refers to king. It is a bird of bad omen. It makes its nest on a lonely tree. It considers that shed is provided to people by it. The monarch thinks that the bird thinks that it is providing the shed to the people. A tree gives a shed all over the world, and there is no contribution of bird in giving shed. But the bird thinks the bird thinks that it is giving the shed to the people. So in this way, the Dryden builds up his you can say that builds up his pressure, his tactics to downsize, to underestimate his opponents. In this way, Dryden makes fun of Shadwell. Dryden also criticizes Thomas Heywood and James Shirley, who were playwrights of the 17th century. Dryden refers to them, to the great prophet of tautology, Tautology, tautology. Tautology means repetition, that they have not written anything original or genuine, but rather they have repeated the things which have already been said. There is nothing new, there is nothing original in their writing. So in this way it is unjustified, because these writers have some good works to their credit, but Dryden underestimates these writers also, because they belong to the opponent. They were his opponents, they were his you can say that competitors in writing or in politics. So Dryden has put them, therefore the Dryden has put them with Shadwell, just on this ground that they were his competitors, they were opponents, they belong to the opposite sides. So that's why that he makes also fun of them, he also puts them with Shadwell. So you see that the poem is a great representative of satirical writing, but you can say that he has elevated, he has you can say that made satirical writing in such a way, he wrote satires in such a way that one can see the what you call it, that you can say that he has elevated the method of satirizing the people. So I hope that you have enjoyed the poem. Now in conclusion, we can say that Shadwell's poem Shadwell is a remarkable satire. It is an extraordinary satire. He had used elaborate comparisons. When we compare things, we just say that her face is like a rose, she is beautiful like a rose. But he has elaborated, he has used elaborated, or you can say that he has made a comparison in a long way, and high language, and particularly the language he has used to to criticize opponents is of very high level. I hope that you would enjoy the poem and read the poem, and the notes I would send you on your WhatsApp group. You should make a copy of it, and then you listen, not one time, but you can listen many times the video which you have recorded. I hope that you would be able to understand the poem very clearly. Thank you.